It is Sunday, 9/23 of 2018. I got that right this time, as opposed to my last live video that I shared with you guys. So, tonight I want to talk about we should love conflict. We should embrace it. Why? Because it is very self-revelatory. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. Let me go and pick up a couple of people. The usual suspects along my great old, good old Facebook post. All right there. Invite, 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 invite. Kelvin and put us on another one of these platform builder things. So why not? I got 10 minutes. All right. What's good? How you doing, Christine, Miss Glenn? What's good, Mr. Goodrum? What's good, Sharon? How y'all doing this evening? How you doing, Marianne? Cumberland Heights' finest. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm not gonna be around with you guys too long. My topic tonight is on conflict, and I'm gonna tell you two quick stories. So the first one involves a business partnership idea. A lot of you guys work for someone else. You have an employer. And so whether you have a contract with them or whether you sign an agreement or anything like that, there's a set rate, scale, or anything like that you guys go by. Now, for instance, I've seen times when there are people they have contracting business or not contracting business, well, maybe let's say they are consultation business. And what they do is that they have an agreed payment scale that they're working towards, okay, and then that scale is there. But there's a contract that goes behind that. And there are details, there are items within that contract that sometimes are overt that you can obviously see, and some things are hidden that you're not even necessarily looking for. So then also what happens is that the person, they run into maybe some other type of opportunities, ideas, situations, and that contract, unfortunately, has a clause. Now, conflict ensues. People are upset. People are mad. People are pounding on the table. They're going to seek after different attorneys and trying to get other people involved to help this situation. But, unfortunately, there's a contract that was agreed to. And it lists what is going to be honored and what will be checked or what will be pursued in a legal matter if it's not taken care of. So that's my first story, or my first example. The next example I want to talk about is within relationships. So sometimes you'll have a couple and you've never heard of the police being called to their house. You never would think of that there's any type of domestic violence or sexual assault or sexual violence or any other type of things like that. Yes, a lot of relationships do have problems, but beyond all of that, everything on the outside looks great. So then here in lies, they come to possibly counseling for some type of maintenance work. And in that maintenance work, you'll find one of the parties, they'll say something like, I really don't want to bring up a lot of things, or I don't want to talk about different situations because I'm afraid it will cause confusion, or I'm afraid it will cause an argument within our household. And I don't want that. I saw my mother deal with that. I saw my parents, anybody, and I don't want that deal with that. So I just leave it alone and not say anything. So those are two examples. Now, what's good, Corbin Hooker? Good evening with you. Now, the two examples that I just noted are self-revelatory. And what I mean by that is that they show our identity. That's why conflict is so important, because it shows us who we are in different situations. It shows us the areas that we could possibly grow in. It shows and demonstrates to us what we can do better as to become the better and best versions of ourselves. But if there is no conflict, or if there is no test or trial for us to measure up against then how do we know these things? We just continue to wander around freely and never reach that pinnacle or never reach that place in life that we can. So again, they are self-revelatory. They could expose possible triggers. For instance, you think things are great because you've have a wonderful relationship, you have a wonderful marriage, you have a wonderful job or so, but let someone come and pour on, what's good, Corey? Well, let somebody come and pour and poke at one of those triggers that you have. Maybe you are untrusting. Maybe you are not a great communicator, or maybe you are an introvert or extrovert, or maybe you are just tight with money, or you've been stolen from before and you've never got over it. Maybe you've had problems with past relationships, or problems with trusting different individuals. And because of that, it has affected you. It has wounded you. And so when the conflict ensues, now you like, I'm wounded. Now I know that I'm wounded. Now that I know that, I've got some stuff to work on. But if it never happens, then how would you know? And so it indicates to us pain that has not been dealt with. And so have you ever seen somebody, or if you can get the visual picture in your mind of somebody that's walking around wounded? They're bleeding. You know, they're walking. Now, to be honest with you, it's easier when I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about a person that is running a race. And it's easy for a person who is healed and whole to run as fast as they can, as somebody who has the big gaping gash on their leg that is currently bleeding. They don't have all of their faculties in order at that point in time. They're in pain. And so that's what conflict helps us to do. So there are a couple quick things that I want to talk to you guys about, and then I'm going to get off of here. When you're in your next conflict, ask yourself, what is this thing all about? What is the conflict about? What does it involve? Is it about you? Is it about the other person? Is it about money? Is it about finances? You really want to get to the nuts and bolts of this thing. Why? Because that's important. You've got to find out, why are you two people or three people or a whole organization arguing about whatever it is? It's very important. It's like having one of those forensic examiners. We got to find out the source of the issue, what's going on. So the second thing that is important is to understand, what role did I play in all of this? Now that's going to be the big trick. That's going to be the big ticket, because there are a lot of us, and sometimes me included, where we take on this revisionist history, saying, I didn't do anything. I didn't add to this. I didn't contribute to this. It's not my fault. It is all them. Unfortunately, a lot of conflicts do not work that way. What's good, Aaron? There are a lot of things that we play in a conflict or in a situation, sometimes that we don't necessarily want to be aware of. We don't want to own up to. We just want to put it out on other people. And how does that help anybody? It really doesn't. Necessarily, it doesn't help you, because again, conflict in this context of what we're talking about is self-revelatory. It reveals things about ourselves. So if we don't want to own up to our part in what we're doing to another person, or what we have played, or the roles that we have played, Academy Award winning at that point in time, then we're lying to ourselves. And that does nothing for us as in possible growth going forward. We all have roles that we've done, or things that we've done to people, knowingly and unbeknowingly. And some people, they take things differently based on their background and experiences. Okay, cool. That's good. Granted. And some of the things you may say to yourself, it's not my fault. That's not my problem that they can't handle a joke, or it's not my problem that they took it that way. I didn't mean it that way, but they did. And it has ensued to a conflicted relationship between you and that partner. And so whatever it is, whether it's good, bad, small, a lot of that stuff, it's about fit. Everybody doesn't fit well with one another. That's cool. It is not a problem. But the main thing that we have to realize is that the roles that we play in these conflicts. And again, that's just self-identification in that moment. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to conflict, is it really about you? Sometimes we have two parties that they are involved in such a heated or contested situation, and you could be the ire or the, how do I want to say this? You could be the focus of something that has happened in that other person's past that really has nothing to do with you. That person has had bad relationship experience. That person has had money stolen from them. That person has had people that have taken advantage of them. There's untrustworthiness. A lot of that little thing stuff that goes along with that. You don't have anything to do with that. You weren't there, but you just happen to be around or in proximity of that person, and maybe you triggered them into a situation, and now a